You know, from time to time, I talk about franchises on this channel because it's the most proven business model for owning a business and having it work without you necessarily needing to be there. But people keep coming back and asking, Kris, but which franchise makes the most money? And I'm like, well, depends. Does your franchise do master franchising? Because technically that would be the franchise that makes the most money. And here's why.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go!
If you've been living under a rock and you've never heard the term franchise before, it's something kind of like McDonald's. It's like, how come I see the same shop opening up on every corner all around the world? Well, that's because the business owner got really smart and said, shoot, we're never gonna open up all the stores that we could. I wonder if we just gave our stores away to other people that paid some money for them and they gave us a little cut on whatever they sold from their store. That's called a franchise. And today specifically, we're gonna talk about what a master franchise is because there's a lot of buzz out there. Okay, Kris, I know what a franchise is. What the crap is a master franchise? Bet you're wondering whose cell phone this is. It's mine, duh, which means if you want to ask me any financial question on the planet, all you got to do is text me. Also, I could give you love advice, or we could talk about health or some of the other fun stuff.
Bachelor number one, could you describe your ideal date?
I would probably chat that up with you as well, but literally might take a moment to get to you, but yes, I will text you. Ta-da! So what is this master franchise? Check it out. A master franchise may also be described as an area representative or an area developer franchise. As master franchisees, you purchase the rights to sell and open franchises of a brand. So instead of, hey, I want to buy the franchise of an Arby, you might buy the master franchise of a total area where they're trying to expand a bunch of Arby's. And if you are the master franchisee of that area, then every time someone buys and starts an Arby's, you kind of get a piece of everything. All right, Krohn, this sounds kind of expensive. Like, what does something like that gotta cost? Let's break it down. The price of a master franchise varies, but the formula that is most frequently used looks like this. You take the total number of units that could be opened in an area. And let's say that the franchise is opening in Florida and that they've got 35 locations possible there. So it's like, okay, here's an area. They're gonna ultimately plan 35 different franchises. If your franchise fee was, let's say, $40,000 for an individual franchise unit, this would then be a total franchise fee of technically $1.4 million. And that would be someone saying, I wanna open all the franchises. But people like that don't come along very often. Like, I know Shaq likes to buy lots of franchises, but most human beings, they're not like walking around with like loads of money. So the franchisor is thinking, I want this thing to go faster. Let's do it a little bit different. You typically price a master franchise territory by taking 10 to 20% of that number, this 1.4 million that we talked about. So at 20%, this would actually be $280,000. And what you're basically saying is, hey, if you would like to buy a franchise in this part of Florida, it's 40 grand. But if you'd like to be the master franchisor of this area that might have 35 franchises, it's $280,000. Now, why would I fork out 280? It's right here. This is $280,000. Why would I bum this off of my mother to be a master franchisor? Well, it's because as I help market and find other people to buy franchises in the area, the difference between 280,000 and 1.4, that is that's like $1.12 million. Guess who gets to collect that $1.12 million difference plus an override, like a royalty on every single store's production? Well, the master franchisor gets to do it, which means that that person gets to make a heck of a lot more money than just someone that opens a franchise. Okay, Kris Krohn, how does it work? Duh, you text me. No, just kidding. I'm going to explain it right now. After the purchase, a master franchisee agrees to open a franchise unit, and they're basically going to say this is the prototype in the area. The agreement would outline how many units the master franchisee needs to sell and then open. The ongoing fees, both franchise fees and royalties, would then be split between the franchisor and the franchisee. Basically, the master franchisor is going into business with the franchise that started the whole thing. That would be like, can you imagine like McDonald's? Like, just when McDonald's was starting to spread everywhere, if you said, hey, I want all of Kentucky. And so now all of the McDonald's in all of Kentucky, It's not just the owner of the franchise that gets a piece of the override on all the stores. You as the master franchisor would also get a piece of all those overrides. This makes some people insanely wealthy. The standard split between you as the master franchisee and let's just say the franchise is typically going to be somewhere around 50-50. But it could vary from deal to deal. For example, if the master franchisee is doing less training and they're offering less support, then that franchisor may end up keeping 70% of the royalty, or it could be 30%. It just kind of depends on how you're going to divide up roles and responsibilities. Sometimes a picture makes everything make sense. So here's one for you. This is the franchise, the company that basically kicks it off at all. And what they do is instead of just selling individual franchises to franchisees, they enroll, let's call it, a couple of master franchisees who then recruit all of the franchisees. And basically these people selling more of the units in that territory, they're gonna help proliferate the franchise faster. So why do some franchises have master franchises and some don't? If they have a master, they're basically saying, let's go gangbusters like Dunkin' Donuts and open up like a gazillion stores as fast as we can. That's when they would say, we're gonna get a little less of the pie, but we're gonna have a much bigger pie. Let's use this master franchisee concept. Master franchising allows franchises to grow faster and expand into more markets. Take brands such as Subway. They expanded very efficiently due to master franchising. The franchisor is also able to operate leaner with less overhead and fewer people in the field because the master franchisee is taking on training and support functions that the franchisor doesn't have to. Bottom line is, it's just about speed. And often in business, in the game of life, when you're onto something hot and no one's got it, but someone's gonna copy it and steal it from you, then the game is speed. How fast can I get my business out into the world? A master franchise concept basically just says, let's go wicked fast. Bottom line, I do not touch a franchise unless it has a master franchise component to it. And if you want to know some of the hottest, fastest growing franchises right now where master franchise is available, or just some really hot franchises, go ahead and click the link below, fill out the form, connect with me and my team. Let me show you some of the coolest stuff out there. Hint, it's not all food. It's not all restaurants. There's some wild, wacky stuff out there that makes some crazy good money. And if you want to know what it is, click the link and let me show you. Krohn, I don't got $280,000 for a master franchise. Heck, I don't have $40,000 for a franchise. Like, what can I invest in? Oh my gosh. There is so much to invest in where you can make a little bit go a really long way. And if you want to see all the things that I believe you should be investing in, click right here and watch this video and I'll show you.